Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tuloyan. I've been looking at this trial over and over again as it unfolds over the months and the years. This is the second year now we're into this trial. But every time I watch it, I get a sense that the script has already been written, that the judgment has already been written. Unfortunately for the accused persons, the only hope that remains for them is an appeal to the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. I don't see any possibility of them getting justice in that court. Too many things have been troubling me over the last 2 years. And I've reached a conclusion that what we are seeing unfold in the Pretoria High Court is, with all due respect to the presiding judge, Judge Ratamogotli, that we are simply going through the motions of a trial. The scales are not balanced. And it is there for everybody to see. Everybody who has been following this case closely will agree with me that something is not right there. Let me give you one or two examples. The treatment by the judge of the defense counsels in itself tells a story. You know, the disposition of Judge Rata towards the defense ever since this trial started, the denigration of the late Advocate Tulani Mgomezu, those unfortunate aspersions that led to the intervention of the Judge President himself last year and the Black Lawyers Association. You recall that apology that Judge Rata made. I think that was the first apology. All those are indications to me that Judge Rata is simply not interested in the defense case. He's probably long made up his mind that whatever the defense puts before him is at the end of the day worth nothing. So on and on it has gone. We have seen how he has hardly ever objected to anything that the prosecution ever does. That bias towards the prosecution is obvious to everybody who's following this trial. You don't have to be a lawyer to see that bias. It is just so obvious and out there in the open. The most recent denigration of black lawyers and black people in general, there was Judge Ratagi denigrating Mgomezu, black lawyers and the black nation as a whole, or black people as a whole. He simply does not have any respect for the defense lawyers in that courtroom. This is why I've always said whenever an objection is raised, he hardly ever makes a ruling. He just directs that proceedings should continue, as if nothing has happened. But when Baloyi made an application to read this controversial evidence by Gininga, he was prepared to listen to Baloyi make that application. It proceeded along the lines of a proper application. But at the end of the day, it came as no surprise when he ruled in favor of the prosecution. The most memorable words for me, and just get me right here, was that before he even pronounced his finding, or his ruling on the application by Baloyi to lead this new evidence, this evidence by ambush, he made a comment that the prosecution cannot just bring witnesses to court for no reason. What does that tell you? What do you read into that? The only thing you can read into that, and the only reasonable inference that can be drawn from that, is the prosecution must be allowed to bring whatever evidence it wants to bring, in whatever manner. It must bring whatever witnesses it wants to bring before that court, because in his view, those witnesses have got evidence to give to the court. And those are prosecution witnesses. So if a judge has got that sort of disposition, it really makes me wonder whether he has brought an open mind, whether he has brought an impartial mind to these proceedings. I have tried to look for that impartiality, but I failed to see it. I've been strenuously looking for that impartiality which I expect of all judges, but I am not just seeing it. So we'll follow the trial. Prosecution will wind up its case. We'll get to the defense case. I don't think you'll have much time for the defense. The defense case is ill-fated before it even begins. It's ill-fated to be just a charade. I think we'll just gloss over everything that the defense will put before you. Because, like I'm saying, looks like the script has already been written. So, my fellow colleagues of the defense, your only hope is with the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. The only thing we can take out of this trial, to take to Bloemfontein, because this matter is going on appeal. I can bet you my last pair of eyeglasses that this one is destined for the Supreme Court of Appeal. So as we brace ourselves for the Supreme Court of Appeal, it will be very important to make note of all the irregularities that we have seen. And there are so many. There are so many that grounds of appeal for the accused will not be very difficult to find for anybody who will take this case on appeal. I am terribly disappointed that hearsay evidence, prejudicial hearsay evidence, is being allowed just like that. Like I said yesterday, or the day before, Guinea is having a field day. Baloyi is just loving it all because it is unfolding just the way they wanted it. Having said that, let me conclude this video by saying the only hope for the accused persons or the only hope for the accused persons is the Supreme Court of Appeal in Burundi. The SCA will have to undo all this, because as it is, I just see us rolling on and on and on and on, and it does not seem to change. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.